Hey YouTube, it's Divine Shadow here. It's been a very long time, but I am back after this long hiatus. Anyways, today we have my new commander deck that I have been having a boatload of fun with. It is a combination of Blink and Reanimate. So we basically like to get a lot of enter the battlefield abilities and just do really silly and fun things. Combo oriented, makes infinite mana, gives us a bunch of weird things to do, and yeah. So let's get into the deck. We run Archaeomancer because this is like a basic staple for this type of deck. This thing gets me everything I need, helps me go infinite, helps me get my tutors that I just reuse again, and then I blink him and get those tutors again and again and again. Clever Impersonator, because always having more Archaeomancers is fun, or just having a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield is amazing. This is one of the best shapeshifter, clones, whatever, out there. Consecrated Sphinx, because who doesn't like drawing cards in your opponent's turn when they're just drawing cards? Draw all the cards, man! Draw all of them. Diluvian Primordial. This one's a very fun one in multiplayer because it enters. You cast an instant or sorcery from an opponent's graveyard without paying the mana cost. And if a card cast this way, we put into the graveyard, it's exiled instead. So you use their stuff that they use to try and screw you over. Then you screw them over about 28,000 times worse. Doom Necromancer, because sometimes you just need to sacrifice this little dude to get that one creature out of your grave for that ETB effect to start comboing off really fast. He doesn't have haste. I'm considering putting in the Apprentice Necromancer who does... I think he has haste? He might not have haste. It might give the creature haste. But yeah, this guy's pretty good. Duplicate, because this guy's ETB is funny. Exiling big threats can be really useful for the board in its entirety. But when you can continuously blink this and just keep removing threats over and over again, yes. Evil Twin, again another shapeshifter. But this one also has blue and black, tap it, and you destroy the creature with the same name. So you destroy the thing it's copying. Fleshbag Marauder, because you gotta sack stuff, and with Shieldred on board, Fleshbag Marauder is fun to use. Gilded Drake, use him with Equilibrium to bounce him back to your hand after switching control with your opponent. Gladiolendra Archmage to counter target non-creature spell. So just continuously counter their non-creature spells to stop their board wipes and other such things that could hurt you. Grave Titan. Enters the battlefield or attacks, put 2/2/2 black zombies into play. Sure. Grey Merchant, one of our win conditions. We basically do combos and we get this guy out and then copy him 5 times when there's like 13 devotion on board. Usually a lot less, but you still basically win at that point. If there's even just like 7, just drain everybody's life, gain a bunch of life. It's really fun. Mnemonic Wall, second Archaeomancer. Mole Drifter. Enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Mostly evoke it, reanimate it later, draw 2 cards. Myr Battlesphere. Comes into play, put 4/1 colorless Myrs. When it attacks, you tap Myrs. It gets plus X plus O. This is another win con, because Myr Battlesphere plus Rite of Replication. Swing in with the last Myr Battlesphere. That was, no, the first Myr Battlesphere. And attack, tap down all of the untapped Myrs you control, and drain their life. Nephalia's Smuggler, combo piece. Pay 3 colorless and a blue, exile another target creature you control, return it to the battlefield under your control, just blink it. Very good early, decent late game, still good mid. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy today. Peregrine Drake enters the battlefield and tap up to 5 lands. This could be Palancron, but Palancron on his own is just stupid. And I wanted the little cheaper guy who can still get the job done. So yeah, Peregrine Drake, he helps me go infinite. Nothing really else to say about this guy. Rexian Metamorph, copying artifacts like Soul Ring early game is useful. Or another creature, or another Archaeomancer. Runescarred Demon, flying tutor that has an ETB effect. Yes, sir. Sepulchral Primordial, take all the opponent's stuff, abuse their ETBs. Sheoldred, one of my favorite cards in all of Magic. Solemn Simulacrum, Staple, Sphinx of Uthun, walking, talking, 5/6 flying, Factor Fiction. Trinket Mage to get basically, I'd say 4 or 5 of our cards, Soul Ring, Expedition Map, etc., etc. And Venser to basically come in and just stop like a board wipe, bounce it to their hand, or return a pesky permanent. Onto the sorceries. Beacon of Unrest, get an artifact or creature, usually Archaeomancer. This deck mostly focuses around Archaeomancer and Mnemonic Wall, just because it really helps. It's one of the strongest cards imaginable for this. Really good card. Damnation, destroy all creatures, can't be regenerated, self-explanatory, demonic tutor. One of the best tutors and one of the affordable ones and one of the ones I have, because I cannot afford the Imperial Seal. Diabolic Tutor, another tutor. We don't need a lot of tutors because we infinitely use them, so 2 is fine, might add to a third one. Life's Finale. Destroy all creatures, search for the opponent's library for 3 creatures and put them into his or her grave. Basically, blow up the board, make fuel for something like Sepulchral Primordial, then just take what I've gotten rid of out of that person's library and have their best stuff. Plague Wind, destroy creatures I don't control. We use this with Grave Betrayal, destroy all their creatures, get them at the end phase. Yes, yes. Recurring Insight to draw a massive amount of cards. Has Rebound, and when this thing goes back to the graveyard, Archaeomancer, bounce it to your hand. Rinse, repeat. Rise of the Dark Realms, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. Massive board wipe, don't have Grave Betrayal. Next turn, Rise of the Dark Realms. Man, basically just take control of the game. And Rite of Replication. Put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of target creature. If it was kicked, put 5 of those tokens on the battlefield instead. One of the strongest blue cards and my favorite right of them all. Insanely strong. Dissipation Field to keep people from hitting me repeatedly in the face, because if they hit me, it goes back to their hand. Equilibrium to bounce creatures, mine, opponents. Yeah. Can really get out of control if I have like reserved mana. Grave Betrayal, one of my favorite cards. Whenever a creature you don't control dies, turn it to the battlefield under your control with an additional +1/+1 counter at the beginning of the next end step. That creature is a black zombie in addition to its other creature types, or colors and types. Super strong. No Mercy, I have Death Touch. This is also like my tech, I guess you could say, against Nekuzar, because basically he zaps me for 1 with his ability. When I draw, he dies. Really annoys those players. Phyrexian Arena, card draw. Rhystic Study, card draw. Lands, we got Cabal Coffers to make a bunch of black mana. City of Brass, Command Tower, Darkwater Catacombs, Dimmer Aqueduct, Drowned Catacomb, 12 Islands, Maze of Ith, Reliquary Tower, Strip Mine, Sunken Ruins, Swamp, Tainted Isle, Temple of the False God, Thespian Stage to usually copy Maze of Ith or Cabal Coffers, Underground River, Underground Sea, Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, and Watery Grave. And the artifacts, we run Conjurer's Closet to do a lot of fun shenanigans. Expedition Map to get either a Thespian Stage, Cabal Coffers, or Urborg from our deck to our hand. Font of Mythos to get some additional card draw. Who cares if we give the opponent some? They're usually not going to be able to outrace us. Gilded Lotus, Mana Vault, Mind Stone. Minion Reflector is a really fun one in this deck. Creature enters, I pay 2 to copy it. This deck is all about enter the battlefield abilities, so I just get additional enter the battlefield abilities with haste, which can be very important at times. The token has haste, might I add. Niven Jarl's Disc, Board Wipe, Sculpting Steel, Copy an Artifact, Sensei's Divining Top to help dig for the combo, Soul Ring, Stranic Resonator to get double ETB effects, Talisman of Dominance, mostly just to add additional blue or black mana for 1, but usually it's colorless. Tawnos' Coffin, this is a very hard one to explain. Basically, I exile a creature, note the kind of counters on it that are on there. When it leaves the battlefield, it becomes untapped. I return the exiled card to the battlefield under my control, tapped with the noted number of counters on it. Those counters are irrelevant, but I'm just reading off the card. And if I do, I return all the art attached to it and blah, blah, blah. Basically, Ghostly Flicker this, leaves play, comes back into play, get the thing that you hid in the coffin so it wouldn't get destroyed, comes into play, ETB trigger. Yeah, we really get super value out of it. And Thran Dynamo. And we run 8 instants, and that is Counterspell, Cyclonic Rift, Dispersion, Dissipate, Ghostly Flicker, the all-star of this deck. It's a 2 colorless and a blue instant. You exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under your control. Super value out of enter the battlefield abilities. Hero's Downfall, because you sometimes just need to destroy a creature or planeswalker. Only spot removal I run. Last Word, and Rewind. Anyways, guys, that is the deck. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Peace.